Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have an exciting announcement. Lainey and I decided to do a weekend SMUTAthon. So this will be taking place the weekend of April 25th. So it's going to be the 25th and the 26th. And there are no challenges other than to just read as many smutty romances as you want. We do have an optional group book that we are going to be reading if you would like to read it along with us. It is a short novella. It's called Theirs for the Night by Katie Robert, who has become one of my more favorite smutty romance authors. It is free on Kindle right now. It is about like 60 pages, so it is a quicker read. And it is about a woman who meets these two very hot men at a club, and she goes home with both of them. They have a night together, and I believe that this novella is the introduction to a series. So the next book follows more of the relationship between the three of them. So I'm hoping that it's good. And I believe, I could be wrong about this because it's not in the synopsis, but I believe that the two guys is a prince and his bodyguard. So that just sounds really great to me. So yeah, I will leave a link to it down below. Like I said, it is free on Kindle. I will also leave the SMUTAthon Twitter down below because that is where you will be able to find all of the information that you need. But it is a really low-key readathon. You know, I feel like we just need some SMUTAthon right now. So I don't have like an official TBR, but I did want to share with you guys these smutty romances that are at the top of my TBR. So these are probably going to be the ones that I am choosing from. Hopefully I could read all of them. I mean, during the 24-hour SMUTAthon we did, I think I read like 8 things. I could, in theory, read all of these, but these are definitely the ones that I have my eye on at the moment. But this always ends up happening when SMUTAthon comes around, is that I like plan the books that I want to read, and then I see what everyone else is reading, and I completely deviate. So the first book that is like at the top of my TBR is A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. This is the 3rd book in her Wicked Villains series that I am just loving this series so much. So the whole series are smutty versions of Disney characters, but where the protagonist ends up with a villain. So the first book was Jasmine and Jafar. The second book was Hades, Meg, and Hercules. And then this 3rd one is Tinkerbell and Hook. Very excited to read this one. I also might add the 4th book, called The Beast, is coming out, let's see. Oh, it's out right now. When did this come out? Yesterday. Okay. Well, the 4th book came out yesterday, and it is Belle, Gaston, and the Beast, I think. So yeah, I feel like it might just be a full weekend of Katie Robert. Another book that I've had my eye on is The Babysitter by Jack Harpin. So this one is obviously about a babysitter. It is a male-male romance, and I'm particularly excited for this one because he has another book coming out, I think this month, called Meet Cute Club. That sounds so good. So I really want to get into some of his other stuff. The next one is Hearts in Darkness by Laura Kay. This is a book that I have never heard of, never seen before, but I looked at it on Goodreads and like every single one of my Goodreads friends has read this. Don't know when that happened, when I didn't get the memo. This came out a long time ago. It's from 2013, so maybe people were just reading this before I even was around BookTube. This is like a 100-page novella about 2 strangers who get trapped in an elevator. So sounds good. The next one I purely want to read because I love the cover. Every time I see this cover, I'm like, I just want to be the girl on the cover. This one is The Midwinter Mail Order Bride by Katie Wilde. So this is a fantasy romance about a girl who becomes the bride of a barbarian warlord. And I don't know, this cover, every time I see this, I'm just like, okay. The next one that I really want to read is Fighting for Rain by B.B. Easton. This is the sequel to Praying for Rain, which was one of my favorite romances that I read last year, and it ended on a cliffhanger. So I have been dying to read this. These are post-apocalyptic romances. The first book was just so good. So I'm really hoping that this second one is just as good. The next one is Xena? Not 100% sure. But this is by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and it is a companion to Rafe, which I loved and I recommend all the time. And this one is a marriage of inconvenience. And so the main character, in order to claim her inheritance, she has to marry this guy that her aunt wrote in her will she has to marry. So he is like this really big, rugged Scottish guy. And I have heard that this is super smutty, so I'm excited for that. The next one I would really like to read is Misadventures with a Professor by Sierra Simone. This is about 200 pages and it follows a girl who gets a job in London as a research assistant, and while she's in London she decides that it's finally time to lose her virginity, so she randomly meets this guy and they have sex, and then turns out that guy is her new boss. He's a professor and she is now his assistant. So yeah, sounds good. It's Sierra Simone, you know how it is. I always have a Sierra Simone on my TBR. And then the last book is one that I actually just got an arc of. I believe this comes out on April 22nd. So by the time SMUTATHON comes around, it will already be out. But it is Talia Hibbert's new book, Guarding Temptation. It is the best friend's brother trope. It says it has the only one bed trope. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like Talia Hibbert just like dropped this book. It downloaded onto my Kindle today and I was like, what is that? So yeah, those are the books that I will hopefully be reading during SMUTATHON. So if you would like to participate in the weekend SMUTATHON, like I said, I will leave all the information that you need down below. I hope this turns out to be a really great weekend for everybody of just reading the best smutty things. Thank you guys for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!